So, welcome to Thoughts from Iron. This is our tactical breakdown. This is where I bring to you my dissection of yesterday's game against Manchester City, where the scoreline suggests that we were played off the park and it was a typical same old West Ham performance. Whereas the truth of the matter is, it's probably the best we've played for a long, long time. Probably put that is one of the best performances of the season. The scoreline doesn't suggest it. And yes, it's 9 goals now in 2 games, and questions are being asked about the validity of keep supporting Lopetegui from the powers that be at the top. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the game itself. And the lineups came out, and I was busy with Long Lane. We won 2-0, which was a good result. But I'll talk about that a bit later. But obviously, when the lineups came out, we were just getting ready to kick off there. So I had a quick scan through, and I think if you watched the takeover show or my preview, I got one wrong. There's no Emerson. I don't think I did badly there. But this was our lineup. Areola in goal. Move Wan-Bissaka out to the left. Kilman in the centre back with Todibo. Soufal out there on the right. We had Alvarez and Souček as the two holding. Somerville left. Kudus right. Paquetá in the hole behind Fulkrug. Now I was quite happy with that lineup. I'm going to say I wasn't too miffed at the manoeuvring of Wan-Bissaka out there. Not quite sure. I'll be honest, I didn't keep up. I don't know whether it was an injury to Emerson or whether he's actually banned. It's terrible on my part, and I apologise for that. But as it was, the opening 10 minutes, we were actually created the better chances. 2 chances, in fact. One from Kudus, which he puts into the side netting, and one which Souček puts wide, drags it wide, however you want. And then we get to 10 minutes and we find ourselves 1-0 down, unfortunately, to a Vladimir Soufal own goal. Savinho, who looks every bit the player that I guess in that game anyway, yesterday's game, looked every bit the player that Pep was hoping he'd be. I suppose in a way that we all hope that Guillaume would be. He gets down the City left. He puts in the cross, which is cleared, and it comes back to him, and he goes for a shot. And it's not the best of shots, to be honest with you, but Soufal decides to try and deflect it wide, block it, whatever you want to be, and it just wrong for Areola. And it's harsh on it is harsh on Soufal. I'm probably harsh on the opening 10 minutes, to be honest with you, with the fact that we had the 2 chances that we had. Savinho throughout the game caused us all sorts of problems, and as I say, he's probably exactly where Pep wanted him to be. He's not fired like that all season, but he looked good yesterday. And obviously, we've got our own Brazilian there in Guilherme, and it's just not come off for him in that way. The second half goes on. It's a lot of, to be honest, a lot of backwards and forwards. We would set up in a way that I think every single one of us expected us to set up, playing the counter-attacking football. And there were times it was working, As I say, the opening 10 minutes, we created 2, I think they're slightly more than half chances. And the lack of quality where we're missing from Bowen in that final third and the shots, it did show. It did show. And all the hard work that we'd put in throughout that first half is then undone with 3 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half to go. And again, Savinho, it's an absolute blinding cross. It's fantastic. But we've got to talk about the build-up. We've got to talk about commitment of players, as you've probably seen on other channels. They've all talked about it, and now it's my turn. Alvarez kind of turns his back, jumps for a header, very lackadaisical, very can't be asked is the best way I can put it. And then the ball breaks and it ends up at the feet of Savinio, again out on the left. Pops a ball deep to the back post, and Harden loses Kilman. Kilman loses Haaland. You do it how you want. But he rises up so well. Very, very good header. Very, very Haaland-esque, if you want. And he makes it 2-0. And very much the halftime team talk goes out of the window at that point. We go in at halftime against City. We've created chances. Yes, they created chances too. I mean, right before the second, Rico Lewis produces a good save from Areola. But for the most part, we were in the game. The counter-attacking tactics were working, and the goal just takes the stuffing out of it. It creates a. I don't know. It just kind of makes all the effort in the first half redundant, doesn't it? It kind of makes you just absolutely batters you. I've been on the receiving end of it, playing, managing, and when that second goal goes in, where you feel that you've had a fair crack at the game, we've seen it many times. Normally, when we come out in the second half, last season under Moyes, we were terrible for conceding goals relatively early in the second half. And we go in at half time, we're 2-0 down. Our game at Long Lane was just finishing up. And I just felt that, well, that was that. I know City have not been great. I know that teams that have got at them, Leicester, Everton, Bournemouth, they've taken the game to City and they've got something out of it. I just didn't see that from us, even with the counter-attacking in the first half and watching the highlights back. I just wasn't confident that we were going to overturn a 2-goal lead. I don't know what was said at half-time, but they come out and we make the sub. So Mavropanos comes on, Todibo goes off, and I think this was 53 minutes. If you took in the press conference after the game, he's not too optimistic about the injury to Todibo, which then leaves us very short on cover at the back. 2 fit senior centre-backs and then Caelan Casey as obviously the backup. Within, 2 minutes of that substitution, we're 3-0 down. Haaland again, assisted once again by Savinio. He pulls Areola off his line. It's a great ball through. Incisive pass from Savinio. Haaland comes in. Areola comes off his line and he chips it over a diving goalkeeper. You say chips it over a diving goalkeeper. I actually think he was mostly past him before he chips it over him. And as much as I say at 2-0 down, it was done. This was the killer blow then. And it's so frustrating. It's so annoying because other teams have taken the game to City and have got points out of it. Be it a draw, be it Bournemouth beat them. Within 2 minutes, it was 4-0. Phil Foden, who, with regards to talent and everything else, I think has been shocking this season for City. Absolutely dire. He beats Areola from close range after good work from De Bruyne, 4-0. And it's 9 goals then, isn't it? 2 games, Liverpool, now City. And I don't see it getting any better. I can't lie to you. I'll just quickly cover the last part of the game then. You know, we get a free kick. Paqueta blasts it over. That was just after the hour mark. 71 minutes. We actually get a goal back. And it's some good football. Alvarez plays Souček in down the, I think it was down the left, wasn't it? And he puts a cross into the box and it's low. It's central and Fulkrug comes onto it, beats him with beats Ortega with a first time shot into the bottom corner, and it's 4-1. Now, if you were to have gone through the Sky Sports scores app and scrolled down to the goal and then read on from there, you'd be forgiven for thinking that West Ham were in the game. West Ham could get a 4-4 draw out of this, that City were vulnerable, 19 minutes to go, it's game on. It really wasn't. It really, really wasn't. Guilherme comes on, he got another 18 minutes, which I'm pleased for him. And then, pointlessly so, with what would have been 3 minutes to go, he takes off Edson Alvarez, brings on Danny Ings. For me, it's a pointless sub. 97 minutes, game over, and City have not necessarily cruised to a victory, as the scoreline suggests. We were in the game. Even at half time, as much as I say game over at 2-0 and we don't look like we've got a way of getting back, we score. If Fulkrug scores that goal before City score 3 and 4, right, we're back in the game. So it's never over at 2-0, but I'm not confident of West Ham. I can imagine you guys are the same. I'm not confident of West Ham getting something out of the game at 2-0 down, right? It feels like our game's over. Some stats from the game, or not necessarily stats from the game, but some insights from the game, is that that's the first time that they've scored 4 goals this season, second actually after Ipswich. So they've been poor and we rock up and we're the gift that just keeps on giving, aren't we, really? We've spoken about it before. This is our 6th defeat by more than 3 goals this season. That's poor. That's poor. We're only halfway through the season. And our worst season was 2017, 2018, when we did it 10 times. We're already over halfway that, and we're halfway through the season. Can see it being worse than that this season. And then Erling Haaland has now scored 9 goals against West Ham in his career. The most against any team in the Premier League. Gift that keeps giving, West Ham. But again, I will say the scoreline flatters. It does. Now, we had 17 shots. We have 4 of them on target. City have 10. Albeit 7 of them on target. They convert 3 of those, 4 of those. So they convert over half of their chances on target. And that shows the difference, right? That shows you the difference, the quality. 44% possession, which again, if you look at it, it's against the City side. 44% possession is good possession. It's against the poor. It's against the poor City side. So read into it what you will. The club came out late last night, and I say late last night, probably 7 o'clock, and said that he was under pressure. He's under more pressure now than he has been. We've heard it all before, guys. It's not anything new. He's not going to be replaced just yet. According to some comments that I received on the previous video, the PSR, like the financial rules, don't apply. We can continue to pay. We don't have to pay Lopetegui off in a lump sum. We can continue to pay his wages week by week, which then necessarily wouldn't put us over PSR. But we would have to employ a new manager, which will obviously cost us. I will be back tomorrow with another video regarding Lopetegui, possible signings, what I'd like to see come through the door. But right now, I just don't see a way out. Right now, all I see is darkness. We've got Villa coming up in the FA Cup, followed by Fulham, and then Villa again in the league, I believe. And a cup run for me would be ideal right now. And it's a real tough season to take. It's very uncomfortable. It's not enjoyable to watch, and yet it could become enjoyable with an FA Cup run to the semi-final, the final. It'll be nice. It'll be a welcome relief from what is the Premier League season this year. If you haven't already done so and you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds and it helps me immensely. Guys, if you can like the video as well, when people search West Ham stuff, it will put us near the top of the search engines. I know I'm not anywhere near some of the big boys, Network with Russ, Anton, Holly and the rest. Hammer's Chat with Joe and Gonzo, some great channels out there. And I'm just a little one trying to compete and find my way in the world. So if you could, please hit the like button. Share it to friends and family if they're West Ham fans. If they're not, send them anyway. We'll they'll want to see the content when we play their team. So I just want to say thank you for sticking by me. I know I've been gone for a while. This is the 3rd video in a few days. I hope to continue to bring you content going forward. As I say, I'm making that commitment, trying to give myself some extra time to be able to do these videos, and you guys sticking around has been very, very much appreciated while I've been absent. And I'll see you soon. Come on, you Irons.